This is Henos Sport, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping a foot on the what? On the X. We keeping a foot on the what? On the X. Now let's talk about it, man. Jermall Charlo. Now my brother, Contender Regime Boxing. Salute to that brother, man. I respect that dude, man. There is not many people that Henos Sport respects, but when Henos Sport gives you a recommendation, you run with that. That dude right there has been stand up with me since day one. We fucks with each other. That's the bro right there. Real recognizes real, and I see right through motherfuckers. So it's a gift that I've been a gift that's been unctioned unto thee, the power to discern, and I can discern right through a motherfucker. That dude right there, that's my dude right there. We always show each other mutual respect. But I see where he was going with Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, and he always comes with valid points. So this is not about me debunking him or anything like that. I actually agree 1,000% with everything that he said. But I'm going to throw this caveat back at him. I see what you're saying, Contender. But I want you to think about this. Jermall Charlo fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. See, I'm going to put that one black kingship to another black kingship to you, and you're going to understand the conversation I'm talking. I'm talking to you, Contender. I know you're going to comment, so I'm talking to you, brother. That's my peer on YouTube. Here's the thing. You have to look at it like this. The lineage. Jermall Charlo should be fighting Triple G, not Demetrius Andrade. And I'm going to tell you why. You see, here's the thing, Contender. They always trying to pin brothers against one another. Why do these two need to have their super fight before Cinnamon Dust or Cinnamon Canelo Saul Alvarez? This motherfucker right here needs to prove himself at the middleweight division. Cinnamon Alvarez hasn't done shit. If anything, Cinnamon Alvarez needs to be fighting Demetrius Andrade. And I'm going to explain why. When you look at the dispatchment that Jermall Charlo did against Sergey Derevyanchenko, he should be on the line to fight Triple G next because of the common opponent. You know, people say boxing triangle theories don't work. That's bullshit. Boxing triangle theories has certain aspects and certain moments where it works and certain moments where it applies and it sticks. And Contender, it applies and it sticks here. Jermall Charlo should eliminate, because the middleweight division is all about cleaning the fucking division out, just like the welterweight division is. When you look at the middleweight division, it's a transitional division in boxing. It's one of the pristine divisions in boxing. And Jermall Charlo should have the right to clean out the Triple G side. And the reason why I'm saying this is because he cleans out Triple G, then we don't have no Canelo or Triple G3. See, Canelo can't run this cherry picking shit. See, I knew you was going to see. You were like, he knows. I see where you're going with this. Because that's that fuck shit Cinnamon Dust Alvarez is trying to run. Remember, 2021, he wants to throw to the boxing community fan base. After I fight Yildirim, the dude that he went and picked up out of fucking Iraq, who was the butt jokes of all sparring partners, right? He wants to fight him, then he wants to tell you, okay, here's my quality fight. I'm fighting Triple G. Who the fuck wants to see a Triple G3? Even Cinnamon Alvarez fanboy said, we don't want to see that. Because Triple G is way past his fucking prime. And at this point, Canelo Alvarez would be fighting a cherry or a glorified cherry. We want Canelo Alvarez to do heavyweight lifting, so he doesn't get the right to have the Triple G lineage. While Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, two solid brothers, two qualified brothers, get to duke it out and mangle each other. See, this is what Cinnamon Alvarez is doing. And see, I know you're going to see the intelligence behind this, Contender. They trying to get Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade to mangle each other so that they can be chopped liver, so that they can be damaged goods, so that Cinnamon Alvarez could step in. Basically, they're soft up. Nah. You got to do heavyweight lifting on your end, Cinnamon Dust, because the super fight is Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. Everyone knows that in the middleweight division. To be honest, it's not Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. That's not a super fight. It's a great fight. It's a fight that us as boxing aficionados want to see. Styles make for fights. It is an entertaining fight. It is an arduous fight. I'm not saying that. It's a hard fight, but it's not a super fight of the ages at the middleweight division. The super fight of the ages at the middleweight division is Jermall Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. So it only makes common sense. It only makes cold-heartedness. It only makes unadulterated, and it only makes cutthroat truth-telling fashion that Jermall Charlo has the right to now fight Triple G after he dispatched Sergey Derevyanchenko, and I'm going to explain why. Sergey Derevyanchenko fought both opponents, and Triple G looked bad. Triple G won a fucking robbery. Whereas Jermall Charlo looked like he was 10 times better than Sergey Derevyanchenko. So Jermall Charlo gets the right to end Triple G or Jimmick boxing career. That way, once he does that, there's no fuck shit that's pulled where Canelo Alvarez can now pull to the glorified cherry and say Triple G is who I'm fighting next. You see the three-dimensional thinking ability with that? This is why Jermall Charlo should be fighting Triple G, and this is why Canelo Alvarez should be fighting Demetrius Andrade, and I'm going to explain that one. That's an easy fight to be made. Both of these guys are on the zone. Yes, one is Eddie Hearn and one is Oscar De La Hoya, but they've already done business together, Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya. Plus, the zone is a failing app. The zone wants to get their recouping on Canelo Alvarez. They told Canelo Alvarez, we need you to start doing heavyweight lifting so that we can justify this $365 million deal that we gave you. So what fight makes sense to justify that? Wouldn't you think, wouldn't one think, wouldn't appear, think, wouldn't common sense tell us that in all common sense, that the fight that's easy to be made, that would be a quality fight and would justify why the zone is giving this cinnamon dust $30+ million a year is to fight Demetrius Andrade. Because it's a fight for unification. There's belts on the line. And this would justify Canelo Alvarez having some stake of being back on the fucking pound for pound list. Now, if you ask Enos Sports Standard, I don't completely remove his rabbit ass or his cinnamon dust ass off of the pound for pound list. But if he wants to fall his ass back in, he needs to fight a Demetrius Andrade. And then fight a Jermall Charlo. You see what I'm talking about, contender? All of the cherries that this motherfucker was fighting. All of the boxing gifting decisions that this motherfucker had, all of the paid to losers that he's had, all of the rehydration clauses that he had, he needs to have back-to-back heavyweight lifting fights to make up for all of that shit that he's been offered a show for. It only makes sense. So my lineage to the middleweight division to clean it out so it could be Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. And trust me, a lot of people start paying attention to this, they're gonna be like, man, he knows the sport. You actually make a lot of sense here. Jermall needs to be the one to eliminate Jimmick and clean his ass out of there. Canelo Alvarez needs to prove his worth against Demetrius Andrade. And stylistically, that is a great fight because Demetrius Andrade can box his fucking ears off, but Canelo Alvarez is a great body snatcher. He's actually the #2 body snatcher 2.0 after Earl the True Spence in the game today. So he throws hellified liver shots, and Canelo has power. So stylistically, that fight is an intriguing fight. To see is Canelo Alvarez's body assault. Is his power going to outdo Demetrius Andrade's awkward boxing ability? And they're both on the zone. That's the way it should be. That way, you're building up the super fight. So now the money is going to go high. See, this is where I'm going with this. Because boxing is a three-pronged monster. Economics, politics, and pugilism. Let me say it again. Economics, politics, and pugilism. So it makes sense if you're going to build it up. Charlo versus Alvarez. If Charlo has Triple G on his name, that takes him into rare superstar status. He's already a star, but that takes him into superstar status. Canelo Alvarez beats Demetrius Andrade. That's if he gets past him, because I don't believe he will. But let's say if, a big fucking if, Cinnamon Dust gets past him. That brings it now to where now people are going to want that. And now you can go ahead and push Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. You see where I'm going with this? And now Canelo doesn't get the fucking duck. He gets to fight heavyweight lifting opponents. He gets to earn his worth. He gets to show respect on the middleweight division's name, a division that Marvin Hagler made famous, a division that Bernard Hopkins made famous, a division that Roy Jones Jr. made famous, a division that Andre Ward made famous, even though he was super middleweight nevertheless, a division that Winky Wright made famous. You see where I'm going with this? This is the lineage on how the middleweight division should be decided. So that way, Canelo Alvarez doesn't do his cinnamon dust, cherry-picking, rehydration clause, paid to lose, judges in the boxing decision type of ways. He gets to actually fight arduous opponents on his way up, and Jermall Charlo still doing what he always does. Heavyweight lifting after heavyweight lifting after heavyweight lifting in Lions-only fashion. That's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, that's the cutthroat truth-teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. Y'all let me know in the comment section what He Knows His Sport so eloquently said. Do you feel that that's how the middleweight division should be cleaned? This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.